Is it live?
Yeah, it's live.
Seems so. Okay.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you again in this Sunday afternoon. This week, we just do some before general update of the Visa 189, 190, 101, and give some data analysis. Then we will take general questions like your specific background, our Mara agent will be on site all the time. Same way, our main host will be Takrin, always working Saturday afternoon. Yeah. And so nothing very specific, just as usual. Before Takrin starts, I'm just to give some basic clarification towards some information that we forwarded, we posted on Facebook or other platforms. So whenever we post information in terms of whatever immigration related, skill assessing body related, visa policy related, these are verified initially by our Mara agent. And also, the most of the information we posted are traceable. That means you can trace the original source from the source link, usually by the end of the content that we post. So the gist is we are responsible for whatever we provide, whatever information we deliver to you, because this is a serious thing towards everyone, because whichever step you take, it makes a lot of difference to the follow steps, even your whole migration plan. So we always take everyone's inquiry seriously. And Takrin, you ready? Are you going to take over?
Yeah, just give me a minute. Yeah, I'll be done.
Yeah. So about the data analysis Takrin provides, all the EOI database, we got it directly from Department of Home Affairs. It's not very up to date, but still it's till July so far. The immigration system, they will update not very frequently, but whenever they have update, we will let you guys know immediately. For example, yesterday about the legislation of offshore international students finished higher education, you can apply for a FAV offshore. Also, for example, about the English result, you can provide the appointment if your booking was affected by COVID-19, then you can provide the result after your lodgement, etc., etc. So now I'm going to pass the host to Takrin, and he will begin this session from here. Takrin?
Yep. Thank you, Lois. I hope you guys can hear me, right? Can somebody tell me you guys hear me? You can hear me properly?
From my side, it's all fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
Sure. Okay.
It's all good.
Yeah, sure. All good. Right. Let me start with the presentation. Right.
Maybe one more method. I see a few more people they are connecting. Same, I will refer you the inquiries from Facebook Live. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I hope you guys can see the screen at the moment, right?
Yep.
So the whole idea of this event we're having today is just giving an idea as to what are the options you have as an accountant. So the first thing I will talk about is the data analysis. So under here, we're going to talk about 189, 190, the invitations and the visa lodged, and as well as 491 a little bit. So this is based on the up-to-date data till August 2020 that we got recently, right? So I'll share some Excel with you. Right, just give me 1 second. So you guys can see the Excel, right, at the moment?
Yeah, working.
Yeah, all right. So let's go to accountants. So for 189, you can see the number of submission has increased. It is now 2,399 number of EOI lodged with 95 points. If I see the last time, it was a bit lower because we were surprised that in 1 month they have increased so many. Yeah, you see, last one it was 1,400, around that range, and now it has become 2,300. So almost 1,000 EOI lodged in 1 month, which shows that the queue is piling up. The more time goes, the number of EOI is getting higher. The chances of you getting invite, even with 95 points, is 0 at the moment. Because look at the number of EOI lodged with 95 points. So anybody under 100 and 105 points, they have a higher chance, but with 95 points, a bit lower. Now, the last time people got invited there was a lot of invite before, but this year there hasn't been much invite. This is for 189, all the data you have. Does anybody have a question about 189, accountants EOI?
Yeah, can you show the management account?
Yeah. So for management accountant, obviously the number of EOI is less than accountants. You can see only 64 people with 95 points and less than 20 people for 100 and 105 points. And you have to also understand, when you give the invite, a management accountant has less number of invite compared to an accountant. Right. Any more queries? I can also show you some data for auditors. Some people also want to apply as an auditor. So you can see the number of EOI lodged is significantly lower for auditor. So now only 2,224. For everyone's convenience, I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay. All right, now it's better. So that's the data for 189 at the moment. And for 190 NSW, you can see the number of submissions. So ideally, people who have job experience and have lodged are under these points, around 1,300 plus till August. But the EOI, there hasn't been any new invites. All the people who got invites before, it's been somewhat last year, not recently. Right. Any question about NSW 190 as an accountant?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
So my name is Krishan. I want to because I have lost submitted my EOI for external auditor dated 12 June 2019. Is there any chance exists?
For 190 or
Sorry, for 189.
and what's your points?
I got 90 points.
Okay, so the bottom line is, as I have described in the previous 1891, even
Yeah.
for auditor, if you
Yeah.
see, they will definitely not touch the 90. They will touch with 95
Okay.
most cases. So 90 is very unlikely at the moment. For
Okay,
instance,
30.
for auditor, maybe 95 is possible. Accountants, 95 not even possible at the moment. Maybe 100 points. But auditor, even 90 points, you have seen the number of people who have applied with 90 points. So a lot of people would be
Yes, so-
applying 2 years back, right? So it looks very unlikely at the moment.
all good. Thanks.
Okay. Right. If anyone have any question, just they can ask us directly. You can unmute yourself and ask us. Right. Then I will just proceed.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
My name is Jeet, and I have a question. What's the situation for Tasmania 190 for accountants?
Right. I don't have the data at the moment for 190 for Tasmania because it's focusing more on NSW. I will go for some data for Tasmania, but recently there hasn't been any invite. You have to see that the last 3-4 months, the government has given a new interim period. Under that one, the specific critical sector where they're giving invites. It's not accountants at the moment. But last
Yeah.
year, maybe last year, they have given.
Is it still on the list, or have they taken it off?
No, there is no list at the moment.
Okay.
This is a very unclear situation for everyone, because you have to understand that after October,
Yep.
the government is basically giving invites to specific occupation till October. After October, when they give the final update, even then we have to see which occupation they give invites.
Okay.
But definitely accountants anywhere in Australia, definitely the least priority for the government. They're looking at other occupations.
Okay. Thank you.
Right?
Yep.
All right. This is for 491 accounting data. So the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is when you see the 189 and 190, you can see a lot of invites with high points. But on the other hand, if you see the number of people who got, so when you see lodged means they have got the invite and lost their visa. So you can see a lot of people got invited with 65 points, 215 points. Everyone got invite at some point. Highest would be 85 points who got invited. So that counts the 15 points from the state. So ideally they had 70 points then. And the submission is also scattered, which shows that for 491 accountants, it's not about the points at all. It depends on other factors. The factor could be jobs in regional area, and factors could be where you're living in regional area. The further you stay from Sydney, the city area, the more chances you have. So those are the factors. But yeah, 218 people got lost their visa overall for 491 accountants, and there are around 1,200 plus applications in the last 6 months. Right? Anyone, any questions so far?
Yeah, I've got a question. Hello?
Hello,
Can you hear
yeah.
me? So recently, like last time when 491 was opened in New South Wales, the government opened without any work restrictions. I mean, like they relaxed for 1 year. Do you think like there is a possibility in future? Currently, I have like 85 points, but no experience in regional area in accounting. That's the only struggle with
So where are you living at the moment?
Wollongong, New South
Yeah.
Wales regional.
So from our migration agent will also share those details. In the last seminar as well, we talked about it, that the more far you stay from NSW, from Sydney, the more chances you have. So Wollongong is a popular state. I think most of the applications are coming from Wollongong anyway. So when you apply from Wollongong, your chances are lower compared to other places, but also depends on the jobs you have. If you can work in accounting field in Wollongong, then you have a chance, definitely.
But last time in June when they opened it, they relaxed in New South Wales that you do not need 1 year regional experience. Will it
But
be the
that
case?
was like a one, because look, I mean, that one invitation round
Yeah.
just happened initially. But
Okay.
what is the guarantee the same requirement would be staying in future? So we can't
Okay.
guarantee anything. We can just give you update and like realistic point of view from our side. So after October, once the new invitation round starts,
Okay.
we have also mailed, I think few days back, we have posted in Facebook about a mail from the regional NSW.
Okay.
And we also send email to them for clarification about whether accountants can get invited after October or not, because they mentioned that within this financial year, they can't nominate accountants.
Okay.
So our team, as well as the migration agent,
Okay.
has given a mail to the regional NSW to discuss about those options, that
Okay.
whether there would be any chance of getting invited. So we can't tell for sure what's going to happen, but we can say definitely that if you don't have enough points, you can count on 491,
Yeah.
but that's not a guaranteed as well.
Okay. But I'll wait for October then. That's only.
Yep.
Thanks. Okay.
Right. So anybody else, any questions regarding the data? Because I'm not going to close this Excel at the moment.
Takri, there is inquiry from Facebook Live.
Yeah.
This client is currently residing at Victoria, has accountant 100.4491. Can you please tell him about the situation?
So he has 100 points, right?
100 point under 491. That means he has 85 without.
I mean, what people are doing a mistake sometimes when client comes to us and they say that I have 95 points with 190, and I have 105 points with 491. We have to make them understand that 5 points is not given to you automatically. You have to get that 5 points from the state. So when the EOI shows you have 95, doesn't mean you have 95 anyway, because first of all, the state have to nominate you. So this guy who's saying that he has 100 points, he actually has 85 points.
Yes,
And
exactly.
15 points from 491 is not granted to him yet. So when the EOI
Like
shows
yeah.
that you have 95 or 105 and whatever, that's like just a data, but that doesn't mean that you have that points yet, unless you get nominated.
Like before the invitation happens, they cannot add that 15 or 5 points.
Yeah, first of all, you have to get nominated, and then you get that points.
Yeah, in this case, he will be on 85. I guess from your analysis, not possible for at least for this financial year, even 95, right?
At the moment, even 95 looks like for 189 looks very difficult.
For 189, yeah.
Because if you look at the data, so many application has been done.
Yes.
Looking at the external auditor now, let's see what accountants does. Right, so as you can see, the number, this is a very important thing you have to understand. 2,399, and a lot of people have lodged multiple EOIs as well. So what happens is one person can get 4 or 5 invites at the same time. You have lodged multiple EOI. So 189 application is not always perfect. It's automated, so you can't tell for sure how many people actually have lodged. But since the EOI number is so high, they're focusing more into this one. I think this one can be a green one, and this one would be yellow, and anything above this one would be red.
Yeah.
Right? That should be the current situation at the moment.
Yeah.
Even this one, 105 definitely. Right?
So like for Victoria, if you want to get a nomination for 491, they'll probably need at least a job offer. Is that right?
You have to have a job offer as an accountant in regional area.
At a regional area. One more inquiry. This client, 90 points. So for whoever leaving inquiries in Facebook Live, please specify your occupation, your current EOI point, and your EOI point date or effect. So here has a valid one, structural engineer with 90 points, 5 points including state. So that means this structural engineer has 85 points.
Yeah.
EOI submitted August 28th.
One request to everyone else who is posting on Facebook. We are specifically talking about accountants at the moment, because if I talk about other occupations, we won't even last. It will take us whole night to finish it because there's too many queries. So anyone who is querying about their engineering occupation or IT occupation, they can message us in Facebook and over the phone call. So just for the accountants, we are conducting this session because we had a pool before the seminar, and based on the pool, we decided to go for this one.
Maybe we can tell them the cutoffs for pro-rata and the non-pro-rata occupations, like give them a rough idea.
All right. So yeah, anyone who those questions, we can just keep it posted somewhere and we'll reply back to them after the session is over. Right.
Okay.
For other occupations in accounting field, so Neha is asking in our chat that if you apply for EOI once and get rejected, the point is you can't get rejected because there's not a system like that. There's no rejection here. It's not that you're not invited. So if you don't get invited after 2 years, the EOI expires and then you lodge a new EOI. So there's no rejection period here. So 2 years, each EOI is valid and one person can lodge as many EOI as they want. So one expire, they can lodge 2 or 3 EOIs at the same time. And yeah, so Neha, I hope you got the answer for your question. If you haven't, then you can just ask us directly again.
Oh, hi, Takrim. I have a question regarding external auditor.
Right.
So my point is like 95 points and DO is 28 June 2020. So is there any chance of getting 189?
So when people ask us, do you have any chance? We always answer that we can't guarantee anything. We can just show you the data and you can make up your mind.
Yeah.
So based on external auditor, I can just show you the data. So what's your 189?
Yeah, 189.
And how much points do you have?
95.
Yeah, definitely. If you are, because look, I mean, you have to understand these are the top 3, all right? But do you have an experience in?
No, I don't have.
You don't have experience?
No, I'm from regional.
Oh, you have a regional study.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely. If they have, I mean, these are the 3 boxes they can actually click. 90 would be too difficult at the moment to predict.
Yeah.
When they give an occupation ceiling, you have to see the last few years data that they don't never fulfill the occupation ceiling. So maybe if the ceiling is 1,000, they will probably fulfill 300 or 400. Based on that analysis, I can see if you have 95, you definitely have a chance, but we have to look at the next few rounds because as you can see, the last few rounds, there hasn't been too much invites in as auditor.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hi, I have a question. I'm in Melbourne and I have 2 years of experience as an accountant. And currently, I'm sitting at 85 points. I got a job offer from Newcastle, New South Wales.
Yeah.
So what will be the situation once I will move there? 4491.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can apply for NSW 190 once you have 1 year experience in NSW as an accountant. Based on that, on the previous experience from Victoria, you don't qualify for NSW 190, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So once you move to NSW and start working here,
Yeah.
I can show you some data. I mean, based on our presentation, I'll just show some data. Just a second. So if you see, this is the, can you see the pie chart?
Yeah, I can see that.
So for 190, the number of invites, it was the lowest. One of the lowest was Victoria, 1.7%. So 190 in Victoria is impossible. So you can probably look at 491. On the other hand, NSW had 20.6% out of all the invites that given in the last 1 year. Highest is obviously Tasmania for 190 for accountants. Second is NSW. Then ACT had a huge number of, I just saw the data, but I was surprised because how could they qualify in the first place? Same thing for Perth as well, something close. But Victoria has the lowest number, so impossible for 190. On the other hand, for 491, a bit higher,
Mhm.
but Victoria is probably the lowest number of invites from state for accountants. So your long-term prospect, if you're living in Victoria, would be only 189, not 190 or 491.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the only reason that I got this job in NSW, Newcastle.
Yeah, so if you're looking for long run, I think moving to NSW and doing an accounting job would be far better than doing in Victoria, because based on the data shows everything that you can't really get invited as an accountant in Victoria under 491 or 190. It's very unlikely. So
Yeah,
NSW has the highest, so just go with that one.
but many people says that for 491 NSW is very unpredictable. It's just because they don't open it all the time, and when they open it, it's just for the limited period of time.
Well, to be honest, every state is unpredictable at the moment because of the situation, and the government doesn't give out clear information yet because of they're still deciding as to what has to be done. So for 491, it looks a bit difficult at the moment, but look, you still have a chance with 190 in future. Otherwise, your best bet would be having 100 points at one point. If you have 100
For
points,
491.
no, for 189, 100
One,
points.
yeah. The others.
That would
So
be
if let's say if when they open 491 in New South Wales, and I will get nominated from there is a criteria of work experience, right? You need to have 12 months or 6 months of work experience for 491 in New South Wales.
yeah, that is there. So that is the thing. That's all I'm saying is you should work for 1 year in NSW and qualify for that one. Otherwise, it would be difficult from staying in Victoria. That's the idea.
And you think 100 point is enough for 491 in New South Wales as well? I will have chance.
I just shared that Excel that for 491 points doesn't matter. People got invited with 65 points as well.
Oh, okay.
491 is a bit different. 190 is a bit different. For 190, the point does matter. For 491, it's not about the points. People are mistaken that 491, I have 100 points, I'll get it. It's not about the point. 491 is which region you're living in, what kind of work you're doing, which regional area you're living in. That also matters.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
You ready to take some inquiries from Facebook Live?
Yeah, sure.
So firstly, I would like to apologize to those inquiries for not accounting related occupations. So if you have urgent inquiries, I suggest you just send us a message in the message to our Facebook page. Then next Monday, we will go to your inquiries one by one. And there is a accounting background currently at the New South Wales Regional. Sorry, we don't know your point, so I'll temporarily skip your. It has 90 points. 90 points at the New South Wales Regional, seeking the chance for 491. I think probably need to wait for the we need to wait for the reply from the New South Wales government, right?
Yep.
Because our Mara agent sent back an email to request to see if they are going to invite any accountant this financial year. Because the email the government sent us said they received a strong direction from the Department of Home Affairs about the occupations that they are allowed to sponsor for this financial year. We are requesting further explanation, so probably you can just keep tracking our post.
Yeah.
Is there something? And another client, 95 points in accounting and residing in Western Australia, Perth. How many EOIs have already lodged for 190 or 491 or 189? 189 doesn't have a location specification. So can you just retrieve data for this client?
So you mean
Western
189?
Australia.
Okay. For Western Australia?
Yeah.
Right. So the person already is working in Western Australia, is it?
I think probably my assumption is he's a Western Australia graduate because accountant is only in the graduate occupation list, not in the general list. But if you can tell us your current employment situation, that would be better.
Yeah, because if you don't have jobs and if you're not eligible for Western Australia,
Yeah.
there's no point talking about those points. So so far I can see around 203 people got invited.
I think this client is still watching, so I hope you receive the answer. For Western Australia, if you are Western Australia graduates, you need working in your field for 6 months or you have job offer. So if you are full-time working is in accountant, you have a big chance.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I can see people got invited for Western Australia with even 75 points for in before. So it depends. If you qualify, then you have a good chance. But this was last year. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen for Perth as well for this year. So, but based on the data, people even got from 75 as well. Right?
Okay.
So I have to go a bit faster now because we have a lot of presentation to be completed. Just want to go in a faster speed. And then we'll come up with the Q&A because by that time our migration agent will be also here. I'm not sure if he's here at the moment. Right. Yeah, so let's start off with those ones. The first question is, we have decided that based on the current situation, we can categorize accountants under two categories. The first one is, can you achieve 100 points now or in near future? Or you cannot achieve 100 points. There are basically two categories at the moment. And how do you get 100 points? You get 100 points this way. Age, you get 30, then 15 for education, 5 for Australian study, English, 20, NATI, professional year, skill partner, you have to get 10 points, either skill partner or if you're single. And the most important factor is, yeah, the Australian experience, the 10 points. That's the most important factor. Some people get extra points for regional study as well. So for them, maybe they can have 1 year experience. That should be sufficient. But this is how you get 100 points. It's not impossible, but you have to look at how you can get this 100 points.
Hi, can you explain what Australian experience is like? Can it be counted with casual and part-time work too?
It can, depending on what kind of job you're doing. It has to be accounting job. Some people are applying with account, payable or receivable, but it's not recommended. But it also depends on what kind of duties you show when you're doing the assessment. The main factor is the skill assessment. If you can prove to the immigration as well as the accounting board that your job is higher level. And so it doesn't matter if you're casual as well, but as long as you can show that you're working on tax at least 1,000 hours in a year, and your work is genuine in accounting field, then you definitely qualify. So that's the main factor.
I'm a student right now and I'm doing a work of administration.
You have to work as an accountant.
As an accountant. Okay, no problem.
Any other job will never count. You have to, even if somebody is working in finance, it cannot count as an accountant.
Okay, thank you.
You have to go as an accountant as a position, or assistant accountant or account receivable officer in some cases. And any experience would be counted after your degree, not before your degree.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Hey, I want to ask about the skilled partner. Like right now, my husband has done accounting and I have done masters in computer science from India. And I have 18 months experience from India only, not from Australia. So can I get my skill assessment here?
For overseas degree, it's supposed to be 2 years experience plus
Okay.
bachelor's.
Okay.
Then you can get assessed.
So the master degree will not count. It will be like same as bachelor degree.
Yeah. It's not the degree, it's the experience.
Okay. Thank
2
you.
years.
Hello.
Can
Hello?
you tell?
Yes. Could you please help me? Just want to know. I am residing in New South Wales,
Yeah.
and I already have 100 points 10 days ago. So, what are the chances?
Yeah, so I've already shared the Excel. You can see there were not too many, around 170 or 180. Let me just double share again. If you haven't seen it yet, I will share it again.
I think I joined 5 minutes ago, so maybe I haven't. I'm
Okay.
so sorry for that.
That's fine. That's fine. So
My wife is a registered nurse, and
Yeah.
she just got skill assessment. So we are thinking like, should we go to regional or no? But now we have 100 points. So, and
so
they're
the
saying
100
that
points you have is 189,
yes,
right? Yeah, there's only 178 EOI lodged.
yes.
So yeah, you have
This
a
is
good
until
chance.
what time?
Till August,
Till August. Okay. So,
right?
so they have allocated 1,000 seats, like 1,000 seats. So 1,000 seats is only for 189 and 491 family sponsored, or is it for other
Yes,
categories?
189 and
Possible to
491.
get points 5 and 10.
Sorry.
It's for only 189 and 491, not the other ones. The state is different.
And
It's for-
491 regional is also different, right?
So 491, there's two category: family sponsored and state sponsored.
Okay.
So that 1,000 under family sponsored, not state sponsored. So state has
Okay.
their own quota,
Uh-huh.
but they don't reveal them to clients, any applicants.
Any applicants. Okay. So like approximate, can you tell me, or it can't be?
I mean, we have to see the next few invitation round. If they even give 30 every round,
Okay.
if you apply now, probably maybe 7 to 8 months from now,
Okay.
at maximum.
Okay. No
Ultimately,
worries.
you will
Thanks.
get it. I mean, the question is that waiting time would be longer, but
Yeah.
you will get it at some point. Yeah, if you have 100 points.
Okay.
Right.
Because then instead, if you move to regional, but then again, it will take the same time, right? So instead, why not just wait
Yeah,
here?
yeah. It's better off waiting. If you have 100 points, it's better off waiting in some other visa than waiting for 491. Because 491, once you go to 491, you can't go to 189 anymore. You can't
Okay.
change.
Mhm.
So once you
Then
move to
190, can I go to any other state and get 190 or no way?
now you have
Since I
to
have
qualify.
experience.
You have to meet the criteria first, right?
Okay. No worries. Thanks for your time. Anyway.
Right. The next thing I was sharing was the presentation, right? So just with that one. Right. So the important factor is if you have 100 points, how do you get that 100 points? Some people have 1 year experience, 2 years experience. A TR is for 2 years. So 3 years experience, how will you get it? So what you can do is in that case is yeah, to get Australian 3 years experience, there's two options. One option is you apply for 407 training visa. We recently had some clients who applied for this one and got the visa. As an accountant, they got 407 training visa. So it's more about the training plan. If you come to our office, we can discuss about the training visa. It's more about also the company. The company willing to sponsor you under this one, but it's more easier than 482 work visa because 482 is very unlikely at the moment. So if anybody is working in their field in accounting, you can talk to your company that I want to get sponsored as a 407, and then we can discuss about the ways you can get it. So that's for people who visa is expiring and they want to extend their stay and still continue working. Another way you can have full work right is you go for Masters by Research in business. This is a 2-year course which will help you to get full work rights. And while doing that, you can work full time, right? That's the main situation. And if you have a partner, right? If you have a partner, then your best case scenario would be your partner going for master's program. So the master's program, there's obviously the cheapest master's program you can go for just to get the full work right. And for that, you have to contact us regarding what the cheapest master's program you can go for. So any question regarding how to get 3 years experience? If somebody is working in accounting job and they have only 1 year and they want to get 3 years experience, extend their stay and get 100 points, these are the way to get it. Right. I will move to the next
Hi,
part.
I
Now,
have a question.
we have talked. Hi. Sorry, I can't hear you properly. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you repeat again? I can't hear you. I think. Yeah. Hello. Okay, you can message us in the chat box as well, and we can reply back to you as well. If you can't.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
I think she's interrupted, but can I ask you my
Yeah, sure.
question?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I have 3 years plus experience as taxation accountant, and still doing. I have 95 points currently, and I have 1 year of student visa left because my TR expired and I enrolled in MBA degree again. So can you please tell me a little bit about 407 training visa that you mentioned and how it is different from 482 visa?
So 482 is a work visa and it's a skill shortage visa, right? So you have to tell the government, the company have to sponsor you under 482, and you have to show that there's a skill shortage for accountants. That's why it's very difficult to get 482, because obviously you can't prove it to the government. Knows there's so many accountants. Why will they give 482? On the other hand, 407 is basically your company is proposing that you want to train an employee under a particular position. So all that matters is in the end is a training plan. So company have to get registered as a sponsor, and then you submit a training plan when you're applying the visa for 407.
So is it just like a working visa, or does it lead to any
working
visa as well?
Working visa, same as the working visa.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So anyone else have a question?
Hi, how long is the 407 for? Like,
it normally ranges from 1 year to 2 years. So it depends on the training plan. If the government thinks the training should be 1 year, so it gives 1 year visa or 2 years visa. Normally it's 2 years, but there are cases for 1 year as well.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Right. Okay, so anyone who want to achieve 100 points, right? We have already given you the way you can get it. Obviously, some people cannot get 100 points no matter what the situation is. So just a minute, I'm just checking one thing. Right. So you guys can see me, right? Clearly?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The question is, a lot of people are asking, coming to our office, discussing about ways to get other visas like 491. But we always recommend, the way accounting is going at the moment, you have to look for new occupation pathway. Only if you can't get 100 points, because you cannot depend on 491. What if something goes wrong? What will happen then? That's why you need to have a backup option. What's your backup option? For the options you can get a new pathway. That's why we're discussing for current accounting students or people who finish accounting, depending on what visa you're in at the moment. This is the 6 pathways, new occupation. The first one is trade, then teaching, nursing, community work, project administrator, and analyst. Right. So I would request everyone to mute themselves. Just a minute. Otherwise, I can hear some background noise. Right. Okay, so I'll just go back to the screen. Right. So the first one we'll talk about is trade occupation. So obviously, there are courses all over Australia, and motor mechanic and carpentry is the more popular ones. And we're talking about Sydney only, Why Sydney only? Because there are courses in other areas as well. But in Sydney, we have talked to a college and convinced them to build up a 1-year package course, because a lot of people don't want to study for 2 years. So what they're offering is, instead of studying for 2 years for mechanic or 2 years for carpentry, you finish the course in 1 year. And as an intensive program, so you're doing double classes, but the duration will be 1 year. And the fees are there, 15,000. So once you finish the course, you move to job ready program for 1 year. And then during that time, you work for 1 year in your field, as in mechanic or carpentry. And then the TRA board will do the final assessment based on your work, and you get a skill assessment positive. Then you can lodge EOI with lower points like 75 to 85 and get invited under 189, 190, because these are in the main list. So this particular program is only offered in Sydney at the moment. For other states like Melbourne, Brisbane, the other state, Tasmania, we will definitely keep you updated for future. So anybody, any question regarding this program? You can unmute yourself and ask as well, or you can just chat in the message box. Right. So if you have a partner, or if you yourself want to do this course, you can also do this course along with your current course. So let's say somebody is doing a bachelor or a master's at the moment. They can complete this 1 year study along with their bachelor or master's. The pressure will be higher, obviously, but you're studying master's and a trade course together. But once you do that, you invest this money, you're qualified as a mechanic, then that will give you a new pathway. Looking at the way accounting is going at the moment, you have to choose a new pathway. If you have finished your study and in the 485, then the first year of 485, immediately start the course. The next intake is in next month. And then you finish the course and then work for 1 year in the field, right? This is how you can get that mechanic and carpentry pathway. Right, then go for the next option. So anybody have any question regarding these courses, just contact us directly. We will discuss in private for a free consultation.
Hi,
yeah.
Can you study and work at the same time for these programs?
No, so that's why it mentioned that 1 year job ready program, that has to be full work, right? So that can be only done in your TR, right? If your TR is over, it's a bit difficult to get that trade occupation pathway. If your TR is over, now you're a new student visa, then there's no way, because you can't fulfill that 1 year work. And while you're doing the course, you'll also be doing some practical work, will be sent to some places to work as well, but those will be part-time as well. So, but the more critical factor is the 1 year job ready program, which has to be full work, right?
Is it like a training, or like do I get to choose my own employer?
No, for that 1 year, you can choose your employer, but has to be this occupation, motor mechanic, right?
Carpentry, I was thinking.
Yeah, you can choose. I mean, it depends. I mean, you have to just basically work for 1 year, and then the trade board, the TRA, will come for assessment. And they're very strict. They will come to your workplace and ask you to work, and they will see your work practically and then assess you. Trade occupation is a bit different from other occupations. So they will actually see you practically work and get your assessment done. So it's a bit difficult. So if somebody is actually a carpenter, they can get assessed as a carpenter. You can't just complete a course and apply, right?
Yeah. So once you finish this, like which pathway do you take to apply for it? Like, is it still like 189, or like is it 190 and you wait until the state sponsors you, and then you get that?
Both. Carpenter is in the main list, so you can apply for 189 or NSW 190. And last year we have seen a lot of people have got invited as a carpenter for NSW with low points as well, because carpenter is the number of applications less compared to other trade occupations. Right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So if anybody is looking for a pathway where they can get your invite with the lower points, and because obviously for trade occupation, it's not compulsory for you to get PT 8 or IELTS 8. So if you think that, okay, I'll do this course, it's 1 year work, I will do that work, I'll get my PR and then shift my career, do that. This is going to be a good pathway for you guys. If you don't open a new pathway, if you just focus on 491, then you're putting yourself in a big trouble, right? Yeah, the next one. So recently we came up with this course called Graduate Diploma of Early Childhood Teaching. It's a 1 year study, but with this 1 year study, you qualify as an early childhood teacher, right? So the fees is 27,000 to 28,000, and classes will be mainly online for next term, but next July probably they will start offline classes as well. So once you finish this 1 year study in graduate diploma, then you move to this assessment board for the teaching board. For teaching, you have to have 7 in IELTS in reading, writing, and 8 in speaking and listening. This is for the skill assessment. But we talked with the college will willing to accept students without that score. They can get PT 7 and 6.5 overall to 7. Then they can get admission to the program. But for skill assessment, you really need that IELTS score. And then you lodge your EOI and apply, right? So this is the fastest way you can qualify for an occupation. 1 year study and you qualify. This course is not that popular in Sydney because not many people have done it. It's in Melbourne. It's only offered in Melbourne at the moment. So yeah, this is an option for people who are looking into teaching, because I spoke to some of the students who graduated from these courses and they are working, and they start working immediately after the course finished. And the good thing is they are just hire you casually to work in a school. You're teaching primary school, so pre-primary school. So, and the pay is pretty good as well. You're earning around $40 to $45 per hour. So it's a good career point. And also for PR, if you can get 85 to 90 points, it's pretty much high chances of getting it right as well. Anybody have any question about this one?
I have a question in this course. This graduate diploma in early childhood education. You're referring the course from RMIT, right?
Yeah.
I've heard from few people that this course is not accredited by the Australian Institute of Teaching and School Leadership. Like you have to have a work experience to get your degree assessed. Is that true?
Well, we have some clients who got assessment positive. So what I can do is, if you leave your contact details, we will definitely get back to you and give you a full proof of that. As like there are cases we have seen who got assessed. So we'll definitely give you a copy of that result based on their degree.
So you, sorry if I'm interrupting, but you're saying just after completing this 1 year course, that person will be qualified for early childhood teacher.
Yeah.
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 But for the skill assessment, that person has to score IELTS 778. That's the only catch.
Yeah.
Okay. So for qualifying as an early childhood teacher, a person can do a master's degree as well in teaching or education.
Yeah, I'll go to that one. So I'll just talk about this course first, and the specific query that you have, we will definitely get back to you on that 1 year experience. Is it required or not? Because we have some cases where people got invited as well and got assessment positive without that experience. So I'll double check with them.
Yeah,
and
this
I will
is very vague. Like I keep on hearing a lot of things regarding this course, this particular course.
Okay, definitely I'll let you know. If you just contact in our Facebook page, leave your name and number, we'll definitely get back to you on that one.
All right, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Hey, is this course only available in Melbourne? Isn't it available in any other city like Perth?
No, because the graduate diploma is not available at the moment. Because graduate diploma is offered only in RMIT in Melbourne.
Okay.
If you have to do masters, then it's available in Perth.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, so anyone who is willing to do the secondary school teacher course, they go for Masters of Teaching. That's already accredited anyway, and you'll get, once you finish this course, you can get full assessment from the teaching board. And same thing as early childhood teacher, but this is a longer course, 2 years course, and they don't have graduate diploma for secondary school teaching. So this is another pathway for people who are looking for getting PR as a teacher. But if you can finish these courses, teaching courses, the chances of you getting an invite would be lot higher compared to any other occupations, because if you see the occupation ceiling, it's pretty high. The number of invite is pretty high as well. And you don't have to rely on any state. Under anyway, we can get 90 points, you get invited. And so it all depends whether you want to invest that money and time. So people who are doing Masters of Accounting, if they shift to Masters of Teaching now, that would be a good pathway for them as well. Right? Any question regarding regarding this course? All right.
Hello.
Yeah.
So for getting admission in this course, how much score do we need in IELTS or PT?
For this one, you have to have IELTS 7 in 2 bands and 8 in 2 bands.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. For the early childhood, is graduate diploma the only course, or like can it be like some sort of diploma or like a cert for something like that? Would that
No.
come for skill assessment?
No. That definitely there's no chance. Even graduate diploma, we were a bit shocked that some people are getting assessed positively as well. So diploma certificate course are only for vet courses. So when you go for vet courses, they're higher education and vet courses. So vet courses can lead to very specific TED courses which can qualify for. But none of the vet courses can lead to any occupation like teaching. Teaching has to be a bachelor, master's, and some cases graduate diploma.
All right, thank you.
Hi, so can you apply with PTE as well for this childhood?
Yeah, so PT for admission purpose, yes, you can, but ultimately you have to get that IELTS score for skill assessment. Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Thank you. And one another thing, I have applied for a graduate diploma of business and management.
Mhm.
So if I want to apply for this one, how it will work?
So you have applied for graduate diploma of management?
Yep, business and management. Yep.
Right. So
So
that's
I
a
haven't
vocational
received
education?
the visa yet.
Sorry?
I haven't received the visa yet.
Yeah,
I'm
but
on.
that course is under vocational, right? Vet courses.
I'm not sure about if it's in vet
Yeah,
or not.
so you probably have to change your visa as well. I mean, you have to apply for this course, transfer
Yeah.
this course, and at one point you have to apply for a new visa because this course is under higher education.
Okay.
But you can start the course without applying for the visa, but then you have to change later on.
All right. Thanks.
I have a question. Sorry if I'm interrupting again. With the teaching course,
Yeah.
if I'm planning to do a master's degree in teaching, like
Yeah.
what are the options that I can do in a regional area? Will that help me for 491 or 190 in any states?
Yeah, I mean, you can, definitely for Darwin and Tasmania,
Yeah.
those are the two states which offers 491 or 190 based on the study.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can
As
find
a
teaching
teacher, you
courses in
mean?
those, Darwin and Tasmania,
Yeah.
are the two states offering 491 based on study. But if you study in other regional area for 2 years, masters,
Yeah.
depending on which state, like Victoria, you can only get 5 points. That's it, but you can't get invited. Right? So it depends on which particular state you're looking for, but most cases it's only Darwin and Tasmania.
All right. So it won't really help me if I move to a Victorian regional area and study a teaching course?
No, you have
like
to
a
look at
master's
what the criteria is. For Victoria, the criteria for 190 is most of the cases they're looking for a lot of years of experience and they have a skill list. So we have to see the skill list, and skill list doesn't have teaching at the moment, right? So that's the criteria. For 491, you have to have a job offer in your field. So it's very unlikely for Victoria. But yeah, we can get 5 points extra. That would be higher. So if you can get 90, 95 points, anyway, you get 189.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Right. For enroll nurse, I have to go a bit faster because we're almost 4 o'clock now. So enroll nurse, diploma of nursing. So a lot of people are coming to our office looking for this kind of courses. And we recommend them to go for diploma of nursing instead of going for bachelor of nursing. 2 reasons. Why? Because diploma of nursing is cheaper. You can finish the course in 1.5 to 2 years, and then you can get assessed as an enrolled nurse. Then you can continue the nursing field as a registered nurse, and once you finish your 1.5 years course in the nursing, you can apply for bachelor of nursing and get 2 year exempted under a graduate entry program. So ultimately you're paying less money and getting a lower, like a shorter bachelor's program as for a registered nurse. But once you finish this course, we have seen from the recent data, especially Adelaide, ACT and Tasmania, these are the higher prospective places where you can get invited. So there are some colleges there. There are colleges everywhere, pretty much except NT, who are offering these courses. But if you study in Adelaide and ACT in Tasmania, as soon as you graduate, you have a good chance of getting 491 directly without any waiting as soon as you finish, because also you have to understand nursing has a high demand at the market. So these 3 states, especially Adelaide and Tasmania, a very good chance. So the way it happens is you finish the course, but you have to get 7 in all bands to get admission. Then you get registration with AFRA board based on your degree. Then based on the registration, you get the skill assessment from NMAC, which is the nursing board. And then you lodge for 490 or 491, whichever state is offering that time. So any question regarding nursing?
Yes, Kent.
Yeah.
How can when registered with AFRA, you said, like what's requirements to get registered with them?
So for registration, your degree has to be an approved course. So as long as your course is approved by AFRA, you just apply for the registration. It's very simple process.
So like, there's any fee to register with AFRA, like to get approval your degree?
The fee, right? Registration fee?
Yeah, any fee or like what's requirement? That's what I actually want a requirement, like how we get registered with them. Like once we finish the degree, we get straight away registered with them, or like we need to do anything else? Like
No,
any experience or something?
For registration. You have to apply for registration.
Okay, so we don't need any experience, yeah?
No, nothing.
Oh, no worries. Thank you, man.
None of the course we're talking at the moment requires experience. Teaching doesn't require experience to qualify, and same as nursing as well. So any other question regarding nursing? All right, if not, then I will move ahead to the next one. Community worker. Now, so there was a mistake in this one. It's communities work on a survey. It's a 2-year study, and specific colleges in Sydney, Melbourne, and also in Tasmania offering this course. So if you're qualifying, it's very simple. You finish an approved course, so of 2 years, and then once you finish that course, you start working in the industry, in community worker industry. And once you go for the assessment with ACWA, based on that criteria of a degree, approved degree, and a work proof that you're working in the industry, you can apply for ACWA. A job is not required, by the way. You have to show that you're working or looking for work as well. And based on that, you lodge your 190 or 491. Right? So this is one more point you can go for. If somebody is looking for an easier pathway, community worker, it's a 2-year course. And if you finish this course in Tasmania, for instance, you have a very good chance we have a lot of clients doing Diploma of Leadership Management. I have talked about that in the previous seminars as well, and we have talked about, because I have, from my own experiences, I've seen one of our clients, a lot of our clients basically doing those courses, but a lot of people getting rejected as well. For Tasmania, if you're studying, don't do a course like Leadership Management, because then it makes your application weak. Courses like this will actually help you to get PR faster from there, for 491 at least. So yeah, if somebody want to qualify for this one, it's easier than nursing, and it's easy to get access as well, and no experience required, so you can apply for this one. Right. This one is an interesting one. Now, people who are doing their business degree, right, or they have done a degree in project management, that's different. People who are doing the accounting degree, I think most of the guys who are in this, most people who are looking at this event is accountants, right? So what you can do is, I mean, this is something that depending on the work, the most important factor is the work. This work, sorry, the work that you're looking at, the work for 1 year in a related role. Now, this is something you can look at as an option. Last year, we saw a lot of people got invited for NSW for this particular occupation, program and project administrator. So for that to happen, you just have to finish a diploma of project management. And the shortest course we can offer for that one is a 6 months course. And you're paying a fee around $3,000 to $5,000 for that one. And only in Sydney and Melbourne. Once you complete this course, then you have to look for a job as a project admin. And once you get that 1 year job done, you qualify as a project administrator under VETASES, right? And then you apply. So this is the lowest investment. You pay $3,000, get a certificate, work for 1 year, get access as a VETASES from VETASES. So it all depends on the work, but some people have some links and they're looking for jobs and they're getting it, but qualification is missing. So this course of 6 months will make you eligible along with the 1 year experience in the sector. Now, just for everyone's convenience, I'm going to show you what's the requirement for work. Right. So I'm going to share you that particular duties. Yeah. So you guys can see this is the particular occupation talking about. And the duties, pretty much, you have to see that at least a degree is enough, as you can see there. And the second thing is that these are the duties that you have to mention. So this is the specific one. Yeah. Right. You're working in a project management role. So what is your job? Your job is to work with architects or other professionals and helping in the project to be conducted. Right? So if you can meet this requirement and get a job in this sector, you can, with a very short degree, for short course, you can qualify easily under this one. So anybody who is looking for a pathway of applying under this one is a good option for you, given that you can find a job in this sector. Right.
What are the requirements of getting admission in this course?
No requirement. It's just this is a diploma project management. You just submit. No requirement at all.
Okay.
Does it have to be a diploma or like master's in business administration? Or
no, diploma is the lowest. I'm saying that we found out the cheapest and lowest duration course. If somebody have done masters of project management already, they already doesn't need to do a diploma at all.
What about accounting or MBA?
No, but those doesn't have enough project management units. So your subject has to be relevant, right? So accounting doesn't have project management courses. So a diploma will be only option you can go for. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next thing, so So this is the last option I'm talking about, and people who are looking for this is specifically for people who are in the first semester of their accounting course, or they have done Bachelor of Accounting, now going to apply for TR before the lodgement of TR. Because if you go for a Bachelor of Information System, Master of Information System, in the long run, if you finish this course in a regional area, right, you get extra 5 points. Complete your professional year in your TR, and then go for this one. Some people are saying that they also have high points, but if you have to do a degree in accounting, better off doing a degree in business information system, because you have more job prospect, higher salary, and more career prospect, as well as option to get PR with 95 points, which you can't have with accounting anyway. So, and it's easier for people from business background to study this course. So the first year students, or first semester students for accounting, or you have done Bachelor of Accounting and now want to apply for Masters, don't go for accounting again, go for this course. And lastly, the 491 pathway. Now, we will not discuss about the 491 at the moment, because whatever we say at the moment would be based on assumptions, because we can't be sure. So just to avoid that conflict, we are not just going to discuss about it. But look, we have to wait for the October session. And best, I've given you the data showing specifically, if you see this particular data, showing which state has given more invite to accountants, Tasmania and NSW specifically. NT has given some, and same thing for some Victoria, Perth, ACT. But look, I mean, the highest prospect is NSW and Tasmania. But NSW, time will tell, will they get it or not? For Tasmania, it's still going to be a case of they're reevaluating the whole like cases. But also the fact is, NSW and Tasmania has the highest number of applications. So obviously the invitation is higher. But this data, we will have to look after 6 months how this changes. Now, the remaining part, we have given you options, right? We have given you the 2 options, people with 100 points and 105, less than 100 points, what they can do to stay. There's no third option. And now we're going to go for the Q&A. And the Q&A, you can unmute yourself. And also we're going to take some question from our Facebook comments as well. And Lois, can you assist me with this one? And David's here already, so we can ask David to join in.
Yes, sure.
Guys, whoever in the list, can you ask your question directly? Unmute yourself and then ask your question.
I was just wondering, like, what's the chances for applying through 186 direct entry as an accountant?
David, are you there?
Yeah.
So the question he's asking is the prospect of 186.
I mean, for 482 or 186, those working visa, pretty much it depends on the employee. So it depends on the company. So pretty much from the immigration perspectives, like they will be assessed the company's size and company's, level. So pretty much whether or not you can get the 186, it really depends on what of the companies you get a sponsorship. So for instance, if you got a sponsorship from Vodafone, from Commonwealth Bank, from NABGAP Bank, of course, like it's more easier. But if like you just find a very small, tiny company who doesn't have too many, revenue every year, so I don't think that's going to be possible.
Yeah, you got your answer.
That okay if they meet them? Yeah, if they meet the minimum requirements of like the 2 million turnover and then like 6 employees.
I mean, I think at the moment, I can give you some like the idea, which is if you're looking for 482 visa for accountant, at least the company is mid-size of the company, so revenue at least about 2 million, 3 million.
Mm-hmm.
That is for the 482 visa, not the direct entry. Yeah, for the direct entry will be more large company. So literally I will be recommend around 10 million per year for the revenue.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Any question? So, Lois,
Yes.
we can get some of the question from Facebook as well.
There is inquiry in Zoom chat box. Can you arrange that first? Then I refer you questions from Facebook Live.
So Vino, I think, yeah, Vino has some question, but you need to discuss personal case for face-to-face. Yeah, Vino, you can just book an one-on-one appointment with us.
Yeah, sorry, Zachary.
Yeah.
There is a client. He is from Bachelor of Tourism and Hospitality Management background. He would like to know if he meets the admission requirement for the business analyst courses. Can you please answer?
Yeah, so anyone from bachelor background in business, any other field as well, they can qualify. There's no fixed requirement. We have a lot of clients who have moved from a different field to this particular course. So you can definitely do this course. But you have to understand, to qualify as a business analyst, you have to have a TR left. Because after you finish your course, you have to do 1 year of, as I shared in the graph, you have to have TR for doing the professional year. So if you don't do that, it would be impossible for you to get the assessment positive. So given that you have the TR, you can definitely go for it.
Okay. Another client's inquiry is he is planning to, from my understanding, he is planning to move to Tasmania to go through the diploma of nursing pathway. After graduation, he would like to apply for 491 and 190. Can you please help him to sort this plan out, like step by step?
Yeah, so the first, what's a current visa?
TR will expire around May 2021.
And previously, what did she study?
He finished the BPA. I think that's a business, Bachelor of Professional Accounting.
Right. So they can go for nursing at the moment for the February intake. And once the course finishes, like the visa expires, before that they lodge a visa and get extension. Once they finish the course, they apply for a new visa just for applying and waiting. Ideally, they should finish the course in regional area, not in Sydney, because then they will put in a higher prospect of getting 491, let's say in Adelaide or in Tasmania. And yeah, that's the situation for them. So for that particular clients, I would request you to have a phone consultation with us for discussing your options.
Okay, I see more inquiries coming in Zoom chat box. Can you please read through?
Right. So guys, if somebody can, if you have any questions, it's easier for us if you can just unmute yourself and ask directly, or you can raise your hand, we can unmute you as well. So whichever it is, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we have 2 persons, Elena, and so one of you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I will be second. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm studying leadership and management in Tasmania.
Leadership and management diploma.
Yeah, diploma, and I want to change my course to some paid courses, but my visa is pending. It's not received yet. So, what is the best option for me?
You can't change your course like at the moment because David. So his situation is that he's applied for diploma of leadership and management, and the visa is on process. So he want to transfer his course, but his visa is not granted yet. So what can he do at the moment?
So how long have you been studying with the diploma?
It's been 3 months. I finished 3 courses.
So the first time you finished, right?
Yeah.
Because now it's like you got 2 options. So which college are you enroll with at the moment?
It's a Wall Street College.
Oh, Wall Street College. Okay, so because pretty much like it really depends on what sort of course you want to study. Because for instance, if you transfer the course internally, then it's still possible. But obviously, because you're applying for the diploma course with a web visa sector, so I think it's probably be more safety if you getting the visa then changing the course. It's more safe, for you to to transfer to the different course, because otherwise, if you're transferring now, so you need to explain to immigration why you want to transfer the course now, with proper reason. So this also need to meet the GT requirement. So what sort of course you consider to transfer now, since you're currently doing your leadership course, right?
I'm sorry.
So what kind of course you want to transfer?
I mean,
the new course.
I want to go for automotive, the trade course.
Okay, yeah. For the automotive course, I think you have to transfer to the new school in Tasmania. So in that case, probably there would have more issue with the release letter and also the course transfer. So I think in that you just need to wait for your current student visa be granted, then you transfer. I think that's more easy for you to do that.
Do I need to again apply for the visa if?
No, you don't need to apply for the new visa because it will be under the same visa category. So you will be stay on your current visa. But the only thing is because for the automotive course, it's like 2 years course. So this means you need to be extending your student visa when your current student visa expires. So pretty much it's just for the visa extension when your current visa expires.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right. I think Elena had a question. Elena?
Yes, hi. So I'm finishing my last semester in Master of Professional Accounting in Melbourne. Yeah, I have 6 years experience overseas in accounting. That can count towards the permanent residence, right? The 6 years experience.
But your bachelor was in accounting as well?
Yes.
So you have to skill assess your bachelor degree has to be assessed by the accounting board, and then using the bachelor and your degree and your experiences.
I'm studying now master. I'm finishing master.
Yeah, you're finishing master's. So the question is, your experience has to be before your qualification, right?
Yeah.
So the 6 years experience was before the master's. So you have to assess your bachelor's degree with the accounting board. If the accounting board accepts your bachelor's degree, then the 6 years experience will count.
Okay, I see. Okay, I understand.
So
And another thing,
we can help you out with that as well. If your bachelor degree is from overseas, it's a bit difficult than Australian degree. So we can help you out with that as well.
okay. How do I book an appointment with you guys?
So just in Facebook, just send us a message and we can call you back for phone consultation.
Oh, okay, thank you. Can I ask you something else?
Sure.
Regarding the project management course.
Yeah.
So because I will be, I'm finishing now and my visa is till December and I need to apply for 485.
Yeah.
So should I, this project management course sounds interesting. And should I apply, should I enroll during the 485 or maybe before the 485?
It doesn't matter because you don't need a visa because you can start the course now. And you will, when you apply for 485, it will take 2-3 months anyway to get the 485. By the time, if it's 6 months course, you should be finishing. So if you, let's say, start from October, right? It'll be done by next March. By the time your TR will start, you have 2 years remaining in your visa. Within the 2 years, if you work for 1 more year as a project administrator, then you get another occupation. But one thing I have to tell you in advance, that project administrator is not in the main list. So it is in the NSW skill list, not Victoria. So ultimately you have to move to NSW.
So regarding accounting in Australia, in Melbourne, in Victoria, no chances right now. Only for work sponsor, but that it's like very difficult, right?
I mean, if you saw our slides, I just shared this slide.
Yeah. I came a little bit later, but I saw that one with 100 points. Yeah, and
So
yeah,
you see,
that.
the Victoria has only 1.7% invites compared to other states.
Yeah.
And the 491 is, so Victoria is the lowest number of invitation for accountants. So if you're living in Victoria, your only option is 189, and 189 is 100 points. So the question is, if you get your first step would be your bachelor degree and your experience assessed, because if you get your bachelor degree and experience assessed, then if you get 10 points from overseas experience, then you already have 100 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But actually, my bachelor degree was finance management. It's not like accounting. Does it count?
We have to look at the transcript. We have to look at your bachelor transcript, and then we can tell.
Okay, I will book an appointment with you guys. Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Right.
Great.
Yeah. I think.
So
Yeah. Go on.
Who is talking? So can I talk?
Yeah. Sure. Go on.
So this client have recently completed a Master of Business Information this September. Is there any possibilities for applying for permanent residency here in New South Wales?
So how much points does he have?
Finish the degree in September.
From bachelor, is it master's or bachelor's?
Master of Business Information.
Yeah, so you have to have 95 points at the moment. So the first question is, you have to finish your degree, do your professional year, get your NATI, PT, along with that, look for experience in your sector. If you can't get 95 at the moment, the way it goes, then you probably have to move to some other state and go for 491 pathways.
Okay. Next question, probably only David can answer. So this client would like to know, are states expected to change their occupation list in October? For example, will they remove accounting?
I mean, at the moment, which is, I think it's very difficult to tell. But obviously, I think accounting occupation at the moment is quite strict with the state government nomination, and also I think Takrin, did you share some information yesterday we received from the state government in this
Yeah,
seminar?
we did in Facebook, but there were some issues for the clients. The client were not happy with the fact that we're sharing without confirmation. So I told them that okay, we have mailed the original NSW already, and after we get the reply from them, we'll confirm them, because any news we give at the moment based on that information, people are getting upset over that information. So just to be clear.
All right, yeah, because obviously, I mean, the fact is actually, so we can see from the immigration department, which is they will give the state government some suggestion regarding the the occupation invited. So pretty much, which we can see from the overall view is accounting is not that popular for this financial year. I have to say so. I mean, if immigration give the recommendation for the New South Wales state government regarding the the accounting is not the priority or occupation, which is they not suggested the state government to give the invitation to 491 to the accounting students. So pretty much, I think that is the factor everybody have to be aware. Probably in this financial year, it's gonna be very hard, very hard time. So this means accounting probably will be quite slowed down with the invitation, even for the 189 application. So, but obviously, I don't think accounting will be removed from the list, because now it's very immigration or the state government already give a lot of condition for that particular occupation. So in that case, I don't think it's going to be possible to remove the occupation at all from the list. So from my idea is they still will be keeping on the list, but obviously we have to be aware actually the invitation gonna be more difficult. Yeah, that is only we can see from the current updates from the state government and also from the immigration department.
Okay, so we are thinking about the so our clients' benefits to keep you informative. We want you to know what is happening. We're not trying to cause panic, and so that's the gist, our principle. And another client wants to know, before finishing his bachelor degree, is it possible to show his work experience as an accountant now? Yes.
Just
You
from
mentioned.
David as well, the same question came before. So the assessment
Okay.
has to be done based on bachelor. So experience before your qualification, will that count? That's the question people have been asking at the moment.
So basically, because for this question is basically, for instance, if the students did like, for example, for Bachelor of Accounting in overseas, and now they are the student doing the Master of Accounting, and at the same time so they working 20 hours per week for the work experience. In that case, in general, like we are assisting a lot of students actually can pass the skill assessment based on that, but if the student only just doing the Bachelor of Accounting right now, and same times they working in the accounting firm or accounting roles in some companies, obviously they don't have any accounting background. They only just doing the first degree with accounting. So in that case, their work experience cannot be claimed the 5 points. Yeah, so that's the difference.
Sorry to interrupt. Just in relation to the assessments, so I do have a overseas bachelor's degree, but with the experiences that I've got after the bachelor degree, like all the paperwork and everything are all messed up because that was like 6-7 years ago. Can I am I still able to go in for a skill assessment, or like does it have to be proper documents with all the pay slips? Like for me, like I've worked for like 3 companies overseas. Some I do have like pay slips, some I don't have the bank statements, it's all messed up. So what do you reckon? Like, does it have to be proper?
David? Just a
David,
minute.
you're muting yourself. We can't hear you. Okay.
Yeah, I say that mean because in general speaking, when we help the clients to do the work experience assessment, we recommend the clients to provide as many documents as possible because it's quite straightforward, which we can see compared with the last couple of years. And I think for the recent from last year till this year, I think CPA is very strict on those documents requirements. So pretty much, it seems like a lot of people trying to get a work experience points from the the skill assessment board. So in that case, then I think that for those assessment board, they just have to get straight on those documents to provide that. So if you can getting more detailed documents, that's more easy for you to claim more points. But otherwise, then if you short of this or short of that, we need to see what of the documents you have, and then we can just consolidate all the documents together to give the impression, good impression to the CPA. So in that case, it's technically we still can do something, but obviously it depends on how many documents you have. We need to see the original documents you have, and then based on that we can give you some ideas. But obviously, as I mentioned, which is if the clients can give us more documents, then it's more easy for us to working on the work experience point. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Catherine, this might be for you. So since this session is mainly targeted.
I think the question might have been raised before.
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's fine.
Sorry. The question, I think it's already been raised. It's regarding your yesterday's post about NSW removing accountants for 491. Actually, I'm moving to regional after 1 week. So the question, so your post just confused me yesterday. So can I get more information on that?
Not me. I think those bad information, nobody like to read it. But obviously, we have to be face the issue, because that email, which is we received from the state government department, which is pretty forward from the department. So we are sending the second email to confirm whether or not we just want to dig out more information about this. But obviously, I don't think that is good news for all accounting students. But obviously, why we posting the information, or why we have this seminar, is because we want to give the people like first line information, so you don't need to misleading your decision. So in that case, you still have time to make a new decision, or if you need to do something else, you still have time to to save your money, save your time to just make a new decision. But obviously, we just communicated with the state government from last Friday. We already sent an email to the state governments regarding more further questions about the accounting occupation or other like the popular occupation as well. So hopefully, I think on Monday or Tuesday next week, we will be getting the updates, and then we will give you guys the latest updates as well. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like the applicant we showed us yesterday. Did he apply in June or after that? Just wanted to know that.
Yes.
The applicant you showed us yesterday in the post.
Okay. So the situation is that client applied by the end of last financial year. Then because the government replied, the quota is full. Do you want a refund or do you want to keep in the queue? And the client choose to stay in the queue. Then yesterday, we received a reply from the state government about the decision. Since we have some unclear information, that's why we're chasing for further explanation. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that client applied in 2019-20 fiscal year.
Last financial year.
Last financial year. Oh,
this year has not opened yet.
Okay.
But it's really case by case, and so everyone's situation is different. But we just want to keep you informative about the current situation. Give you some more proofs before you make your decision.
Right. Okay.
But you just read whatever from that email. You don't make you jump to the conclusion like the government is going to remove that occupation. That is not what that email is saying. So so you have to make sure you perceive the information in a straightforward way.
So we didn't mention anywhere that the accountant would be removed from the list. What we mentioned is that there was a confusion, and for that we want clarification from the government, from regional NSW. So we mailed them. So just wait for a few weeks. Probably by next week we'll get a reply, and after October 6th you'll know anyway. But nothing clear at the moment, to be honest.
Okay. So
any questions, anybody?
Can I ask one last question?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just so you said like the federal budget will be announced on 6th of October.
Yeah.
So as soon as the federal budget will be announced, the application will be straight opened, or it will take time?
No, definitely they will start give you the new regulations. That's the announcement, and then the state will start working on the new rules and everything. So
the application. So the application will not start on 6th of October.
No, it won't start. No.
Because my work is starting from 10th of October. That's why I was pretty worried. That's why.
That's fine. I mean, look, the probability of you getting an invite in the next few months is anyway going to be very difficult. We have to wait for some time, right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right. Anyone else have a question at the moment from the Zoom?
Yeah, I've got one question. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Your name is Medini, right?
Medini, yeah. I'm Medini, and I'm currently living in Tasmania, and I've finished a Master's of Professional Accounting from Sydney. When I moved to Tasmania, I applied for 491 last June when it was opened in NSW Regional, which I used to live there. But maybe Lois knows about my case. I applied through Fusion, and it was refused because I was not in NSW. So they refunded me back. After 3 months here, I'll finish advanced diploma, of course. So will that affect for my 491? I'm working currently in aged care facilities and doing community services.
Right. Lois, so you know her case better probably.
Yeah, so here I'm just going to seek further suggestions from David. So Medini, she finished her TR, and then she applied for a new student visa from us. Then she moved to Tasmania, and she wants to go through the Tasmania 491 pathway. She's about to finish her 1-year study there. Even she's from accounting background, but she's currently employed. I guess that will give her a bonus when she submit her EOI under 491. And the industry she's currently working is in aged care. She has relatively work experience back in New South Wales as well. Around more than 1 year, I remember. Yeah.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's around 3 years. Yeah. So
You mean
yeah.
so her background is accounting background, but she did the aged care work experience. Is something like that?
Yes, more than 3 years in Australia.
Okay. I think probably because pretty much first thing is your background is still accounting, so pretty much we still using the accounting to apply for the 491 or 190. Doesn't matter which type of visa, but your work experience is related to the aged care, which probably will be give you some help for the assessment. But obviously the issue is because you doesn't complete any life history and 4 in aged care, and you don't have the proper the qualification, is it? You're only just working in the industry for 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think in that case, they will give you some bonus points, which is you have the work experience. So that's 3 years is based in New South Wales, right? Not based in Tasmania.
3 years in Tasmania, in New South Wales, and from March this year, March, I moved here in January, and in March I got a community service job, and which was and maybe because of COVID, there was only 5 hours fortnightly. But now, starting from September, I got two jobs and have got very good hours. And not only that, I for 2021 intake, I read not only for PR but for my career development. I wanted to study nursing, so I have applied for Bachelor of Nursing. After I finish this advanced diploma, I'm thinking about joining nursing, Bachelor of Nursing, for 2021, and I'm planning to combine both my degrees and do something in future. Will that also help for 491?
No, obviously, if you, as you mentioned, if you complete the nursing program, obviously that will be give you a lot of help to get in the PR, because obviously, I think that in the past of the couple of seminars, we always discuss what of the occupation will be give you more helpful to be getting the PR, or what of the the occupation probably will be have some issue. Right, so I think pretty much for nursing students or for nursing occupation, which is 100%, it's very safety. The occupation which you can rely on that to be getting the permanent residency. But obviously you need to finish the course first, before to go into the PR, processing.
Yeah. But what about 491 after 3 months? Even if I plan to study nursing in 2021?
Yeah, because pretty much like for 491 visa, as you understanding, because you still under the accounting occupation. So pretty much, I think at the moment, not only just Tasmania, I think all around Australia, the state government with the accounting occupations, they still will be getting very slow for all kind of invitation, including 190 or 491. So which I can, I only can give you the situation which you probably still will be getting very slow invitation. So how many points you got for the county at the moment?
Including the state, I have got 90. Else, I've got 75. Yeah.
You mean 75 for the accounting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's because obviously in Tasmania, most of people, they will be, if including the, the 15 points from the state government for 491, normally they can be achieved around, 95 to 100 points. I think we can see a lot of our applicants, which is holding around that many. So basically they have about 80 to 85 points from their own points, and then they got a 15. So in that case, if your points is a little bit less, and also, your occupation is a very high competitive, the occupation. So we expect the invitation still will be, moving quite slowly for the invitation for the accounting. Yeah. So pretty much what we can suggest is if in that case, then probably you just need to stick with your nursing, nursing course and finish your nursing course, and then they will be give you, a very easy solution to solve your PR. Because otherwise, then if you still stick with the accounting occupation, it's still going to be, a lot of issue which is caused from outside, not the inside. But obviously, those issues cannot be solved, one by one. So pretty much, I think for the accounting occupation, the only thing is have to wait. Then that's the only, solution.
Oh, okay. Thank you, David.
Thank you. No worries. No problem.
Thank you. I think Yushu Pon, I think you can you have raised your hand for quite some time.
Yeah. Hi.
Can you ask the question?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we are planning to move to Newcastle next week. Is it safe to move there, or I don't work in the same field, like as an accountant? But is it safe to move to Newcastle at the moment?
Look, after October 6th, and by next week, probably from the state government, we'll get an update. As we have also already discussed that we are not sure yet, unless the state confirms as to whether accounting would be invited by next June or not. So you can move there, definitely. But I think David have shared this in the last seminar as well, that the further you live from Sydney, the more your chances of getting invited. Is that right, David?
Yeah. I mean, because obviously everybody understands the accounting occupation is how difficult to be getting the PR at this stage. So pretty much I think in the last seminar, I also give the hint for the accounting student, which is if you decided to move into the regional area, you have to understand which is it's a long-term investment. So this means it's not gonna be getting any feedback or getting anything back in very short terms. So this means we're not talking about 2-3 months. We're talking about at least minimum probably 1 year plus. You probably can get something. So in that case, this means you need to find a job in regional area, which is for your own own good, or from the visa applications point of view, it's benefit for you as well. So for the applicants moving to the regional area, they don't have any problem. But obviously, you guys just need to be trying your best to find a job. That is the really important things for me to talking about the 491 visa. Okay.
Also, my TR will expire on May 2021. So is it a safe way to go Newcastle or go to Tasmania and do 1 year course like a diploma of nursing or the community service for pathway to TR like 491 or 490?
It's always
Which
safer,
one?
as I've discussed in the seminar. Sorry to interrupt you. In the whole presentation, I've discussed about you can't rely on 491. Worst case scenario, let's say you move to Newcastle and they remove accounting from the occupation list for 491.
Yeah.
Then you have to move again to some other state and go on your course. The question is up to you. Do you want to take a chance or do you want to go for a guarantee pathway? The guarantee would be going for nursing or some other field.
Okay. So the safest way is like a guaranteed one is move to Tasmania and study diploma of nursing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, is there like pathway to 491 or 490 after you finish diploma of nursing, like as an accountant applicant?
Yeah, definitely. The earlier you start the course, the better, because you have to apply for visa for that course as well. So if you start in February for diploma of nursing, then you can apply in April for the visa. That would be easier than if you go for next July intake. That would be a delay. So you can start your course in February and then apply for visa in April.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
Samantha, can you ask a question as well?
Yeah, so I have 100 points in accounting. My date of effect is July 29th of July. And I'm working as an accountant since 3 years in New South Wales. So I was just wondering if I should still consider other pathways or I should still wait until October for invitation.
Well, if I open the Excel for you, I'm not sure if you saw the Excel. This is the current update, right? For 100 points, there's 178 EOI lodged till August. And so from this data, we are just predicting that people under this one will definitely get invited at some point.
Okay.
So if you have a visa already, you just have to wait. That's it. There's no point going to regional for you because let's say you get 491, you can't get 189 anymore. So that's a long struggle for you. So just wait. If you have 100 points, just wait. With the next 5 to 6 months, you should get your invite.
Okay, thank you.
Thakri?
Yeah.
There is a client has been waiting for a while on Facebook Live. I hope he's still with us. So probably you need to go over just stay on that page because he wants to know any update for people holding 95 points in accounting under 189 because he has got PTE for next 12 months and it will expire soon. But here, I'm just going to clarify for the PTE validity for the 189 or 190 visa applications. It's valid for 3 years. It's different from for academic purposes. If you want to use that for beat the admission requirements, it's valid for 2 years. For TR, PR, it's valid for 3 years. So can you, so you already explained this several times, but maybe you use this as an ending for this session.
Yeah, so what we are saying is we have discussed this number of times. I was a bit surprised that in 1 month, because I told this before as well, back in July, the number of EOI lodged for 95 points under 189 as an accountant was 1,452. In 1 month, it has increased to 2,399. So roughly, you can say maximum invite would be for 200 to 300 people, to 400 people, because even the quota is 1,000, they never cross that one. So based on that, we can assume that 95 points holder have very low chance. If you are in this pool of 2,300 people, how can you get invited for 189? There's no guarantee as well. So yeah, I mean, 95 points for 189 doesn't look like possible at the moment. We can be wrong, but what we are saying from this data, it looks very impossible. I think David would also agree, right? Based on this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, so all the accounting students, which is, I think, like you need to put in priority list for yourself. Like, for instance, like you want to change your occupation, you want to rely on the state government nomination, or you will be continue your current points just waiting. So pretty much like everybody probably have a different routine to getting the PR, but obviously we need to base on your economic side. So basically based on your funding and based on your time to be give you another options for the PR, because obviously if the accounting applicants who without like 100 points or more, I think at this stage it's a little bit struggling to be getting the invitations from the state government or from the immigration department. So everybody have to be realize that issue, and obviously you need to give you, because obviously now whatever like your 45 visa are going to be expiring, or your current under the 45 visa, you are just waiting for the invitation. You probably just need to do something, which is, it doesn't matter. You change to second occupation, you have the second occupation to working out, or you can find more points to be give you, to give you like more chance to be get invited. But obviously everybody have to be realized like we need to do something like before the visa expiry. Yeah, agree?
Yep. Right. I hope that answers. I think there's a question in the Zoom as well, right? Samantha has already answered. Is anybody else in this Zoom who has any question? I think Tosif has a question.
I have a question, sir.
Yeah. Go on, Abhishek.
My question is regarding the skill assessment for employment on my EOI. Like I have 3 years positive assessment from CPA, which is exactly 3 years. But they in my assessment letter, CPA has mentioned the particular dates for my employment. So in my EOI, should I just write the start date and end date, or if it's still ongoing employment, I should should I not mention the end date to make it
should
as
be the
correct?
day of lodge, like the day you lodge EOI, on that date. Like it's like, let's say you lodge it today, so the end date would be today's. Then they will count from. They will know it's an ongoing process, right?
What I'm saying is like they assessed 3 years of my employment, exactly 3 years, like not even 3 years 1 month.
Yeah.
Then it's like 3 years proper time. So in my EOI, should I write only 3 years of employment, or if it's still ongoing, then I should not. If I don't mention the end date in my EOI, it will make it like current, like 3 years 2 months, 3 years 1 month, like that. So what should I do?
I mean, if you leave it blank, I have to check if you can leave it blank or not. The end date.
Yeah, I can, because currently I have left it as blank.
Yeah, then perfect. Then it's perfect. That actually makes sense. Then what happens is immigration knows, the NSW government also knows that it's an ongoing process. You only put the end date when there is an ending. For instance, it doesn't, because ultimately what's going to be a continuous process, right? And
yes, and like, for example, if I get 190 nomination from NSW, it's not like, for example, only, then when I need to submit them the assessment letter from the CPA, it will only mention like for 3 years, but I'm showing still further months. So in that case, what should I do? Because the assessment letter will only mention up to certain date.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. So that's what you don't have to mention exactly like that, because it's an ongoing job. Confirming with David as well. So what he's saying is his experience that he put in the EOI, because his job is continuing. So does he keep the end date blank? Because if you put the end date to a particular date,
I mean, because that's pretty much, it depends on how many points you climb from the points anyway, because EOI only leading to the points. So pretty much like if you express like you getting the work experience of 5 points, or you got the work experience 10 points. So pretty much like if you claim like you have 10 points, so this means it's over 3 years. So in the system, then when you submit your EOI or when you update your EOI, immigration need to matching the time anyway, right? Because otherwise, for instance, like, 2.5 years, I just claim like I have over 3 years work experience, because anyway, EOI will be wait in the queue for like another 6 months or 7 months. But at that time, I will be getting 10 points. But when the time I launch my EOI, I'm still have 5 points only. It's not 10 points. But for the CPA assessment for the work experience, it's only up till when you do the assessment. But if you want to claim more points, then you can submit the work experience to the immigration department, which is immigration department also can assess work experience as well. So pretty much like you just need to provide a further like work experience like documents to be claim more points. Yeah.
Okay, so my experience is 3 years, which gives me 10 points in my EOI. So that means like if it's 3 years plus and under 5 years, and that means
it's still 10 points anyway.
And I don't have to like show it as current if CPA has only assessed for 3 years, right?
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, you got two options. Basically, one option is like if you got more work experience, like you can just ask the CPA to assess your work experience, like to do that. Otherwise, then you can, when the immigration assess your application, you just need to provide the pay slip or those work reference letter to provide that you are continuing working, which is over 3 years then.
Okay. No, I asked this because just to, for example, 3 years gives only 10 points in EOI. So 4 years also doesn't matter because it still gives 10 points. But what my question is, if NSW wants to select 2 candidates, which has exactly the same points, same experience, like 10 points from experience because of 3 years. But when they will look 3 years versus 3 years, 2 months candidate, so will there be any advantage? That's why I am asking.
I don't think they will be going to that accurate, the calculate based on the months or dates to give the invitation for the more longer times. I don't think they're going to that, that direction. So pretty much like if you have over 3 years work experience and also you're showing actually so you're current like still working, that's fine then. That's no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Because from the EOI, which is they still only can show in the points based on the the range of the work experience. So between 1 to 3 years or from 3 years to 5 years, right? So because only when you launch your EOI, you only select the points based on how many years you're working. So from the New South Wales government, when they digging out the data, it's the same. They based on the points to give the to give the invitation anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Agree. Any more inquiries? Else, can you maybe just wrap it up?
Yeah, if
just the last one. Sorry.
Question. Yeah. Go ahead.
About that, the Masters of Research, is it only for ICT? Like if you study anything in Masters of Research in IT, can you get like 10 extra points, or is it climbing from 5 to 10?
No, for Masters of Research, if you're doing in science STEM field, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, then you can get 10 points. But from other fields, there's no points.
But with this masters, like, is one able to do the PY as well? Like once you complete the Masters of Research?
Look, for PY, we have number of cases before. I think there was a question as well from, I think, Tosif or somebody who has asked that, can they do PY in some other visas? Look, it depends on the provider, but from our experiences, we haven't seen anybody who was allowed to do PY in some other visa except 485.
No, I mean, like once you study for Masters of Research, then when you get the TR, can you do the PY in IT?
So you're saying that you're going to do your Masters of Research after PY, after TR?
No, I'm going to go in student visa, get the Masters of Research in IT, and then when I apply for 485, will I be allowed to do the PY, or is it just for normal like Masters by coursework?
Yeah, you have no, you have to do Masters of IT.
No, for the PY, which is based on you have to pass the ACS skill assessment, which is for the pre-assessment. So pretty much it's by research or by coursework. But obviously the first priority is you need to pass the skill assessment first, and then you can do the professional year.
So it can be any course as long as it's a master's degree, is it?
No, it has to be in IT.
No, I mean like in IT, but can be a research degree as well. It doesn't have to be.
I mean, because normally like the research degree, which is more related to the therapeutic topic, and you're doing the particular things. But for the ACS like skill assessment, which is based on the subjects. So do you have an IT background like in your bachelor level?
No, I mean accounting, but the next step I'm thinking of is to apply for Masters of Research in IT. Like if it's gonna give me a
because that's the one thing is because for ACS when they do the skill assessment they will be based on the occupation. For instance, they have the programmer, no, they have the business analysis, they have a particular the course like which can pass the skill assessment. So pretty much it depends on what of the research is, because for instance like not only just for the research, even for the PhD students, some of the PhD students who doing some like engineering like the program, but obviously they cannot be passed the skill assessment for the Engineering Australia. It's the it's the similar questions because the subjects they studying, which is not accreditation by the Engineering Australia, or they cannot be passed the skill assessment for the Engineering Australia, so they still cannot using that one to pass the occupation. Because obviously, for the migration purpose, you need to nominate yourself as a one occupation, and by using that occupation to pass the skill assessment, then you do the professional year. Obviously, you will be getting the extra points. Otherwise, then if your occupation is not on that list, then it still cannot be working on the immigration system. Then.
Yeah, Manish, the question is. First of all, how will you get admission in Master by Research in IT? It's not a guarantee, first of all. If you don't have a background in IT, it's almost impossible to get admission in Masters of IT in Research. The course that we promote is Masters of Business in Research. In IT, it's very difficult. Big universities have that courses, and we haven't seen any case where people from other background got admission, right? And also, the units that you have to doing in research does not always match with the ACS requirement. So you won't be qualified to apply for IT for PR.
Oh no, I mean, so my background is accounting, of course, but what I was thinking by the time I'm waiting for like to gain the points, like will this be like some sort of bonus points for me? Like if instead of doing a master's by research in business, I go for like if practical, I go for like masters in IT. And get more points from there.
The question is, normally we do work with all the universities. We know the requirement for all the Indian requirement for Masters of IT in Research. Anyone without an IT background cannot directly apply for Masters of IT in Research. It's very unlikely.
Okay. All right. Sure. Thank you.
Right. I think most of you guys who have left, and I think all the questions are answered in our Facebook page, pretty much.
May I know one more thing? It's a simple question. Just like the NSW regional opened the allocation last time in June last time, and hopefully they are opening in October as well. So normally they open the 491 allocation like quarterly, semi-annually, or once in a year, or it's never decided.
It's never decided. I think that's what David. That's the correct answer, right? It's not fixed.
No, they don't have the schedule, the timetable for the listing, the invitation. So pretty much for the state government's invitation, which is pretty much 100% depends on the state government. So they don't have any schedule, the timetable. Yeah.
All right. All good? Okay.
All good. All good. Thanks.
Okay, so I'll just summarize everything that I've talked so far in the seminar. So I'll start this in like 2 minutes. I'll just summarize everything. So we started off the whole seminar with basically talking about the options for PR for accountants. Then we started off with the data analysis. And in the data analysis, we discussed about 189 and 190 current situation. And from that, we can summarize and say that anybody, even with 95 points for 189, it looks almost impossible to get invite. So 6 months back, that was not the case. We had a lot of clients with 95 points waiting for the invite, but now it would be very difficult. When 190 looks very difficult as well, because you have seen what the pandemic has done to the situation. We talked about all the charts like this, where we talked about the Tasmanian, ACT, and NSW looks the highest, along with Perth, look the highest number of 190. So when you look at this data, you always can decide which state is right for me. You can move to Tasmania, ACT at some point, Perth, you have to look for a job in Perth as well in accounting, or NSW if you have a job as well. But other states like NT, Victoria, 190 would be very difficult, almost impossible at the moment. 491 on the other hand, Tasmania and NSW is the popular one, and some part of NT and Victoria have got it as well. But the other ones looks very, very difficult at the moment. So accountants are mostly for Tasmania and NSW. Then we talked about people with 100 points and people without 100 points. So the 100-point holders need to do all these things. And first of all, the most important thing is how to get 10 points for a student experience. And we talked about 407 and Masters by Research as a way for them to get full working rights after their visa expires. And a partner can go for a short, cheapest master's program. Then we talked about new occupation pathways, and we talked about trade occupation, teaching, nursing, community work, project admin, and business analyst. So if you look at the options, you look at motor mechanic and carpentry, we have introduced a 1-year package course where you can finish the 2 years course in 1 year, and other fees are also there. Teaching, graduate diploma in early childhood teaching, 1-year course, then you can qualify. Secondary school teacher, diploma of nursing, very popular one, and we recommend you to go to Adelaide or Tasmania as well as ACT to do this course. Community worker is also a popular one, and then project admin, if you can get a job as a project administrator, a 6 months of course of diploma project management can help you to get assessed with a 1-year experience. And anybody looking to shift their career, if they're doing a accounting or a bachelor's of accounting or master's of accounting in the first year, they can immediately shift to bachelor of information system or master's of information system. That will give them a better career perspective, more chance of getting a job, higher pay, and if you can do the same course in regional area, you will ultimately get higher points and get invite as well. And 491, we haven't discussed the pathway because we don't want to mislead anybody, just like the post we did last time, people got misled, which was not our intention. So we want to talk about 491 after the official update comes. From now, people have to wait for that one. So that is pretty much all the questions and everything we have to. Thank you, Lois. Thank you, David, for your time and everyone who has attended this session. And we'll come again next week with a new topic and a new subject to talk about. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.